I'm Mark Matsumoto, and today I want to show you how to make a vibrant green matcha oatmeal. It's a delicious, healthy way to kickstart your day, and whether you're into savory breakfasts or sweet breakfasts, I've got you covered, so stick around. Matcha is powdered green tea that's made by grinding green tea leaves to a size of just 10 to 15 microns with a stone mill. That's a more uniform powder than most wheat flour. And it's not just any old green tea. Proper matcha is made from the young spring shoots that grow out of the Camellia sinensis, or tea tree. The plants are shaded for a few weeks to prevent the amino acids in the leaves from breaking down into bitter catechins. This also elevates the amount of chlorophyll in the leaves, giving matcha its insanely green color. Matcha is usually prepared as a beverage, but it's also a delicious ingredient that's loaded with antioxidants and brain-boosting compounds such as theanine. I love working it into foods, especially in the mornings when I need a burst of energy, and this easy oatmeal can be served Western style with fruit. Or if you're more of a savory breakfast person like me, you can turn it into a Japanese breakfast. Now, I know some of you are probably looking at this and wondering how I got it so green. And the answer is that it's all in the matcha. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bad matcha out there. It's either oxidized before you bought it, or it wasn't real matcha to begin with. That's why I like to get my matcha straight from the source, and the sponsor of this video is a tea farm in Kyoto called D Matcha. I'll tell you a little bit more about them in a bit. But first, let's get started with our oatmeal. The ingredients for matcha oatmeal are just 1 cup of water, a half cup of rolled oats, and 1 teaspoon of matcha. For our sweet toppings, I'm using some raspberries, blueberries, and mint. And I've also got some coconut cream, unrefined sugar, and toasted pumpkin seeds. For our savory toppings, I'm using salted kombu, umeboshi, toasted sesame seeds, takuan pickles, and a Japanese herb called kinome. I'm gonna start by adding our water to a pot and bringing it to a boil. If you like your oatmeal creamy, you can add the oats in with the water, but I like my oatmeal to have some texture, so I usually wait until the water comes to a full boil. Now I'm gonna dump in the rolled oats and give it a stir. Turn down the heat to maintain a gentle simmer and set a timer for 10 minutes. Now we just need to let this cook, stirring it from time to time to make sure it doesn't burn. How long you cook the oatmeal affects its texture, so if you like your oatmeal more chewy, you can cook it for less time, or if you like it more creamy, you can cook it for longer. Okay, our timer's up, and this is looking perfect, so I'm gonna turn off the heat. Then I'm gonna add the matcha to a fine mesh strainer and sift it in. Matcha tends to have lumps straight out of the package, especially if you keep yours in the fridge as you should. So if you don't sift it, it's not gonna dissolve properly. Now I'm gonna stir this in until the oatmeal is creamy and vibrant green. By the way, matcha oxidizes easily and it loses its color super quickly, which is why I wait to add it until the very end. Okay, this is ready, so let me show you 2 ways to serve this beautiful matcha oatmeal. Before we plate this up, I want to tell you a little bit more about the sponsor of this video, D Matcha. They're a tea farm in Wazuka in the mountains of Kyoto, started by this guy, because he wanted to preserve Japanese tea culture and share it with the world. I'm working on a short film to tell their amazing story, but in the meantime, go check out their website using the link in the description to get the best quality matcha and other Japanese tea products delivered straight from their farm to your door. If you want to try making this yourself, I recommend using their okumidori for the best color. Or if you're on a budget, their yabukita for pastry still has great color and it's about 1/5 of the price per gram. And be sure to use coupon code MARKMATCHA to get 5% off your order. For the sweet oatmeal, I'm gonna scoop it into a shallow bowl. And then I'm gonna flatten off the top. Next, I'm gonna drizzle on some coconut cream. If coconut isn't your thing, you can substitute in your favorite non-dairy milk. Then I'm gonna sprinkle on some toasted pumpkin seeds and hit it with some unrefined sugar. To finish it off, I'm gonna top it with some fresh raspberries, along with a handful of blueberries. Garnish it with a sprig of mint, and my sweet matcha oatmeal is done. I'm gonna serve my savory matcha oatmeal in a rice bowl. Here in Japan, we often eat rice porridge called okayu for breakfast, and this totally reminds me of it. Now I'm gonna top this off with some toasted sesame seeds, some salted kombu, and umeboshi, which is usually translated as pickled plum. And then I'm gonna add a few slices of pickles off to one side. Finally, I'm gonna garnish this with a sprig of kinome, and our savory matcha oatmeal is done. This is kinda like a Japanese breakfast, so I'm serving it today with a bowl of miso soup. Okay, I'm kind of starving, so let's try these out. I've got the savory one and the sweet one here. Itadakimasu. All right, I'm gonna start with the savory one. Get a little bit of umeboshi here, some of that salted kombu, and lots of oatmeal with the sesame seeds. That's so good. The flavor kind of reminds me of ochazuke or Japanese tea rice. And because matcha has a bunch of amino acids, it's added a ton of umami to this. All right, I'm gonna try out the sweet one here. Oh man, look at that. Okay, let's get a little bit of coconut cream and a little bit of that brown sugar and some blueberries and raspberries. Oh man, that's a dessert. That matcha, it's added a really mild, pleasant bitterness, kind of like a dark chocolate, but it doesn't have any of that astringency because it's been shade grown. And that coconut cream has added this rich creaminess that makes it taste like a matcha latte. And just look at that beautiful green color coming from D Matcha's tea. Aside from the fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants in this, it's also got a nice kick of caffeine, so I could totally see myself having this for breakfast every day. Oh, that's so good. Well, I'm fueled up and ready to start my day, but check out this playlist for more matcha recipes. And I'll catch you in the next one.